welcome back to the channel, you guys. This time we're here for episode 4 of In the Garage. We're doing battle testing and refining. We've already built the build from scratch and went ahead and optimized the armor so that it can work as best as it could with its stats that are available at the moment. And we're just going to run it through with some battles and see how it does and go from there. Figure out the kinks, all the things that we need to add and remove. You can only do so much from thinking about it and, speculating in the garage. The rest has got to be done on the battlefield from seeing how it actually works. Yeah. I'm doing pretty good damage. I cleared off at least the blockchains and Aurora pretty easily with those maces. So the setup is pretty good so far anyway. But the speed is still hurting. And I'm having some kind of issue with aiming my guns. Even though they should be wide open to fire. I don't know if you noticed that my guns aren't firing entirely, continuously. But yeah, when he's up on the wall, yeah, it was pretty easy, but thank you. Yeah, there we go. I don't know what I did right, but that worked. Oh no. Barson. Oh yeah, we just got into this guy. No, his teammate stopped me. No. I got this. No, I don't. 1,000 pounds. 1,000 points. All at once right there. That's nice. It wasn't a bad run. No, it ended pretty badly. Still won. Thank you, teammates. Oh, but I got the MVP medal. Alright, yeah, there we go. It's a little proof that this concept works. And that's all you really need. If you know you can use it, then you just need to build it. Let's run another match or two. Because I'm still kind of bothered by the speed, and I'm bothered by the fact that sometimes my guns don't fire all the time. And I think I'm starting to realize that this bat cabin has a dip in the back, and I think it's allowing the bearings to kind of sink down in there when I'm aiming, which can block them from shooting sometimes. So, that being the case, I might need to put something honestly to keep the barrels from being able to dip down in there. We'll worry about that later. So far it's been working really well. And hey, if you do enjoy watching my content, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm not really worried about the likes. You can like as much as you feel like it. That's your choice. But go ahead and subscribe to the channel so that you can receive those notifications whenever I come out with some new stuff. Much appreciated. There we go. Yeah, look at that. Stripped him. And the wedge is working really well too. Oh, I couldn't get away in time though. And it's probably because I put the Colossus on there. With its high power, it should have high acceleration, but it's just not working. Really. Still though, yeah, I'm sure you guys have been noticing. I've been tripping these guys. That's great. And wedging them, look at that, pretty well. Oh my god, did he just suicide on my face? He did. Yeah, the build's pretty solid. Gotta work out those kinks though. I'm sure y'all heard that skipping. Crossout's been having its fair share of issues here lately. I know, I'm sure everybody's noticed that soundtrack skips and things like that, but anyways, I'm gonna try and put some straights on because I'm running 4 sets, a total of 8 steerings, and they use more power, almost double the power. Is it? I think it's double. Yeah, double the power of a straight. So I'm gonna remove 2 steerings and put 2 straights on, and that should give me like 1 full wheel's worth of power back, basically. Still feels sluggish though. I mean, kind of made a difference, but not really. I think I'm gonna go ahead and just remove a set of wheels altogether and get even more power back. Shivs, I feel like, are not the best wheel to run with like 4 or so, and even 6 kind of makes me nervous about it, but we're gonna go ahead and go with it because I tend to overthink things. So we're just gonna let the results speak for themselves and run 6. And so I got rid of 2 whole steering wheels without replacing them with anything. So that's like, what, I think 24% power back. So that should give us something for the speed. Don't pay attention when I get flipping around some items and parts. And I just, sometimes, I don't even know. There's no excuse for it. I just love doing it sometimes. It just happens. Better. Yeah. That looks kinda better. No, oh, okay, I kinda like that. Yeah, we're gonna go with that for right now. Yeah, don't even ask questions, okay? I'm not even sure myself. We're just gonna go with it. Sometimes I just gotta spin things around in order to get my bearing on the item, even if it started in the first oriented position before I even spun it around. I do believe I'm going to go for a cheetah though, because I forgot that initially I put that Colossus on for you guys just to show you like more armor optimization, but I knew better than to go ahead and just slap a Colossus onto a lunatic build, unless it's a special case of like a heavier type, and this is not even close to it. So I pretty much knew better than to just drop a Colossus on a lunatic build, but I went with it for the sake of the video. So we're gonna fix that problem right now and go ahead and put a cheetah on there. So hopefully that cheetah will go ahead and add that speed that I've been lacking severely, because I know that the cheetah is good for it. Normally I'd run hot red or something like that in order to not use the energy, and hot red is pretty good on acceleration and stuff, but when you can spare the extra energy, the cheetah is actually better for speed. And so rather than spending that extra point on a Colossus, we'll just go ahead and run a cheetah on there, and that should get me back up to lunatic standard when it comes to speed, because Lord knows I have been dreading the speed on this thing. And we're gonna go ahead and chop up some more of the armor. Those founders pieces are more like a sub version of scavenger, so, or Steppenwolf, whatever you want to call it. So those pieces are not really well optimized because of their ridiculous amounts of weight per piece. So we're gonna chop those out and use that weight and spread it for more optimization on the build. And we're gonna work with that cheetah a little bit more in terms of like weight capacity and all that. And I know you heard me mention earlier that I feel like there's this dip in the back of the bat, and I'm gonna see if I can't like use some armor pieces and fill in that gap, and if that won't go ahead and take care of the problem of my guns, like the barrels of them dipping into that space behind the bat. But we're just gonna go ahead and try to optimize down to the weight of the cheetah, which I don't know how you guys feel about it, but a lot of the time, sometimes I gotta go ahead and overweigh the vehicle to get it to the standard that I want, and then go from there and optimize it down to a lesser weight with the pieces and the shape already there first. So in this case, we pretty much took that method because we had a Colossus which added 2,500 weight to the build, and a cheetah that only adds 1,000, so that's an excess 1,500 weight. And I kind of didn't really have a choice but to go ahead and drop the change on there first, and then try to make it work after I've already like went into the red. Which, as far as armor optimization goes, I'm pretty good at it. So for me, that's a pretty viable option because it doesn't take all that much for me to work my way down. I can usually spot the pieces that'll make the process go the quickest. Don't know how you guys feel about it, but it's definitely an option that you got to consider when you're optimizing a build after you've already got it set up the way you want. Sometimes you got to make major weight changes, and it's gonna like cost a lot in mass, and learning the method for just going ahead and overweighing your vehicle and then working from there will actually in the long run help you be able to make drastic changes to your build, and therefore you can get it to where it needs to be if you went severely far in the wrong direction, like I did with a Colossus, and slapping 1,500 pounds of weight excessively on the build. And I just fixed that by going first overweight and then fixing the weight afterwards. And I've already started to implement a little bit more changes, but because I'm so good at armor optimizing when it comes to my lunatic style builds, I'm not really worried about it because I know in the end I will be able to grind down the weight and make it runnable regardless of what it's saying at this moment. Sometimes I might have to go back and take those changes off because I'm not the perfect builder, but right now I'm only 45 pounds above weight and I'm at the part limit. You take off these two heavier pieces there. I'm pretty sure they're scavenger DLC pieces, so they should be fairly heavy for just those two pieces. And if I replace them with something that's a little less on weight, or do you know what? No, this isn't even less on weight. I'm just gonna drop these here because they have resistance to damage, and that's best for the setup on the weapon. I'll eventually get around to dropping the weight on this thing, but right now I'm just kind of putting in those serious necessity changes, and I'm not worried about the consequences. I'll just deal with them after everything's been done. Yeah, and that's not gonna work. I'm gonna try and handle that gap I was talking about. Oh, look at that. Yeah, that fit right in there. I think that piece up in there, get rid of these lights for extra parts. I think that extra buggy frame right in there will help straighten the barrels so they don't fall into that dip behind the bat, and that'll, I think, keep me shooting a lot more often. And I'm still only about like what, 200 above in mass. Take off these superfluous parts for the frame. Yeah, look at that. I just took off 4 pieces that weren't even all that important because the frame's already resistant all on its own. So that extra armor was just, you know, extra toughness for the frame, but the frame is already tough. Just get rid of those extra parts that aren't really necessary, and bam, I'm back below weight. And now I'm, what, 200 below weight? Yeah, 7,300 out of 7,500. So, like, I got 200 pounds to work with now. I was in the red the whole time for about, like, what, 3 to 5 minutes of just straight building, and all I did was make one major change in pieces, and I'm already 200 below in mass, and I'm now trying to spin the weight all over again. So, you know, like I said earlier, I wasn't really worried about it because I'm pretty good at grinding down the difference. Trying to figure out if I'm satisfied with this or not. I think I'm gonna go with this setup. I think I'm about ready to run another match with it now that I done changed it out for the cheetah from the Colossus and adjusted the armor's weight and mass and such. Yeah, it feels more flexible. I lost a set of wheels, changed out some steerings for some straights, changed my Colossus to a cheetah, and I used some buggy frame pieces to fill in that gap for my bats, a little space problem in the back. And I think I just created a solid variation that's going to become the main thing. Yeah, much more satisfied with this. Look at the speed on that. Did you see that jump? I got so much more speed between changing those wheels and adding that cheetah. It's like a whole different build in terms of speed. God, go ahead and take him then. Oh no! What is that? Oh, took him back for a second there. He lost the shot. He got hit. Flipping. Without even trying that hard. Oh, strip him. Oh, no. No, I didn't strip him. I basically did, though.
Keep up the good work.
Alright, I'm gonna cop out for this one, but that was still a really good run. I'm like, in that short amount of time for that one match, I'm already much more satisfied with this build than I was at the beginning of this video. So I believe I'm gonna go ahead and make the opt to save this, because it is much better, much faster, and the guns shoot much more flexible. We'll save it. That's a done deal. This is the new test cars main version. So let's run it some more and see what we can do with this baby. It's like a brand new build. And all the wheels change a little bit. It's very important to test your builds after you've optimized them as far as you can go off the top of your head. As you can see, even if you think you've done as much as you can, I went back and optimized it again, and it's doing even better than it was at first. So battle testing and refining your build down to figure out the issues is just as important as optimizing it when you first build it. Some cats down here. Oh, and there's some teammates already on them. Woo. Yeah, we got to jump on these guys and they don't even see me coming. There we go. Oh no. Oh my god. Oh, what was that? That guy is done. Alright, give me a piece of him. Come here. Let me get a piece. Don't target. You can't even see him the way you go. There we go. I don't know who popped him, but I'm gonna go ahead and finish him. Oh, he's dead.
You stumped him good, man.
I was way late on that dead. He's about to go after that 15. You ain't flipping no more. You are, son. Just a turret now, huh? Now you're not even that. Oh no. You gotta get a good fly on me with that wedge. Oh, it's a Betty build. Why? Somebody else shooting me from behind? Who's it? I'm pretty sure it's not. They're gonna go ahead and tear him up for me. I ain't even gotta do much work here. I did my part jumping in on their spawn to attack them with the team. That was crazy. I don't know how my teammates ended up over there all the way at their spawn, but we just messed them up right where they started.
One's holed up in here somewhere.
And that's game.
Now that's what I like.
Yes,
Well done.
sir. So I'm very satisfied in this short amount of time. What, like barely 20 minutes it took for me to go ahead and realize the full potential of this build by optimizing it. So this old version right here that you guys see, it was a good attempt, but even after I optimized it, I messed up. But that all changed when I went back and ran it through a couple battles and noticed what was wrong and what needed to happen. And then this was born, the better version of it. It's almost completely identical, barely even any changes, but you saw the difference in the gameplay. It was just that important. So I mean, battle testing and refining is a very important step in making a damn good build, and don't you ever forget it. So I'm glad you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, if you didn't, leave a comment at the bottom explaining why, and please leave a like and a subscribe if you don't mind, and I'll catch you guys around in the wasteland. See you later.